What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brian and I are going to have a great show for you this Friday. Get you ready for the betting weekend. Brian, it's good to see you, buddy. How we doing?
Happy Friday, brother. What's happening?
Hey, happy Friday to you too, man. We've got through another work week. Got a nice little betting board on the weekend. We're going to break all that down. But you know what? It's nice to just be on Friday. You know what I mean? Like, it's just nice to be on a Friday. Got a whole weekend ahead of us. You got anything fun planned just personally?
I'm probably going to get into some cold Budweisers tonight. Just do the usual, probably a little Red Bar down in Grayton Beach. Might get out on the beach tomorrow. I hope the weather's real nice right now. I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, we got some decent weather here in Nashville. It rained, kind of all week. It rained again last night, but I think it's going to be pretty nice for the weekend, so it's good. But yeah, everybody, welcome in A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline, alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks is brought to you every Tuesday and Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Everybody make sure to download that BetMGM app. If you use promo code A to Z100 and you bet $1 money line on either the Braves or the Phillies today, if either team hits a home run tonight, you win $100, right? So how could you go against that whatsoever? So if you have not downloaded and started your account at BetMGM, make sure to do that now. It is the perfect time to do it. That's BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. So, all that said, Brian, let's just jump right into it, buddy. So we've got a nice betting board this weekend. Obviously, we had the Kentucky Derby and UFC last weekend. It's not as full, so to say, as we had last weekend, but it's still a nice one. So today, Friday, throughout the day, throughout the night, we've got the Phillies at the Braves. We've got the Rockies at the Cardinals. We got the Pirates at the Cubs. Pelicans at 76ers in the NBA, Nuggets at the Jazz, Knicks at the Suns, Lakers at the Trailblazers, and in the NHL, we've got the Stars at the Lightning. So what catches your eye, buddy? What are you looking at?
Well, I'll just give a heads up that Joel Embiid is listed as questionable for the 76ers against New Orleans, and Brandon Ingram is out for the Pelicans. I'll go to my first NBA play for tonight. It's going to be Minnesota and Miami. The line was 226.5, or anywhere 226, 227 about a half hour ago. Hadn't looked since then, but I'm going to go with the over. The over's on a 7-0 run for Miami. The over's on a 3-0 run for Minnesota, and those three overs for Minnesota have beaten the closing line by an incredible 115.5 points. The three combined scores were 274, 276, and 240. And when these teams last met in Minnesota, the Timberwolves captured a 119-111 win for 230 combined points. So I'm going to go over 226.5, 227 for Minnesota at Miami.
Nice. Yeah. And I'm going to jump into the Pelicans and 76ers game here in just a little bit. But, you're right. I've seen a lot of line movement. Last night, the 76ers, I believe, were an 8.5-point favorite. I saw that line this morning go all the way to 76ers -9. And I believe now it's, I think, Philly -7.5 after the news today. So, yeah. So we've seen a lot of line movement in that one.
Now, I bet if you like the Pelicans, you might want to wait it out, because if Embiid gets upgraded, I could see it jumping right back up to 9.
Yeah.
That's why I quick thought there.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, again, like I said, that's one of my games I'm going to play in our Friday parlay. I'll break that down here in just a minute. But for anybody that is anybody that's a Predators fan, located here in Nashville, here in Tennessee, you're going to see, obviously, the Stars at Lightning is a big one tonight. You need Tampa Bay to win, just from not a betting perspective, just the game as a whole. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of Lightning fans here in Nashville. Now, for Saturday, let's take a look. We've got the UFC Fight Night, Rodriguez versus Watterson. We got the Pirates at the Cubs, Rockies at Cardinals, Phillies at Braves, all those series going on this weekend in Major League Baseball. In the NBA, we've got the Grizzlies at the Raptors. We got the Nets at the Nuggets. The Nashville Predators are at home against the Hurricanes, which obviously the Predators need to win that game to get themselves in the playoffs. And then we've got the Lightning at the Panthers. So, Brian, I ask you, on Saturday, what are you taking a look at? And any thoughts you can give us on the UFC Fight Night card?
Yeah, so I've got a 2-fight parlay ready for the UFC fight card tomorrow night. I'm going to go with Donald Cowboy Cerrone as a minus 185 favorite against Alex Moreno. This was scheduled to be Diego Sanchez's retirement fight against Cowboy Cerrone. But Diego's got some issues, and he's got some loser coach that is just a psycho weirdo and all kind of.
I got to hear more about this coach now. What's going on?
Oh man, he is a really odd dude. He thinks he's some movement coach, and there's on camera him chasing a couple of his fighters around the cage with a knife. Not like he was going to stab them, but he literally has a knife in his hand. Seriously, no joke. I've never seen anything like it. So wild. And then he walked into the fighter meeting before Diego's last fight, and I think they think that they're doing themselves right. They're sending it out on Diego Sanchez's Instagram. It's a recording of this coach walking in and like telling Paul Felder, and I don't think it was Cormier and John Anik that respect my fighter and all this. This guy's off his rocker, and he sounded like he was trying to set the UFC up for a lawsuit by maintaining that Diego's had some like brain issues and memory issues or something. So they pulled him from the fight, understandably so. So this Alex Moreno kid is stepping up on like 10 days notice. But I saw Cowboys interview this week. It made me feel good about him. So, and then I like Jeff Neal in bounce back mode. He lost to Wonder Boy, but he had won, I believe it was 6 in a row before that. He's minus 190. So Cowboy Cerrone and Jeff Neal combined parlay should get us back around plus 135. And just one more in UFC. Marco Rogerio de Lima. He is fighting Maurice Green, and de Lima, 10 of his 11 UFC fights have gone under 1.5 rounds because he's a finisher and his chin's so-so. And Green, 4 of his 7 UFC fights have gone under 1.5 rounds. So I'm gonna go under 1.5. That was minus 125 at William Hill yesterday.
Nice. Okay. Sweet. Well, now we take a look at Sunday. We've got NASCAR, the Goodyear 400 at Darlington, the Lady in Black. That should be a really fun race. We've got, again, Major League Baseball finishing up some series. We've got the Pirates at Cubs, Rockies at Cardinals, the Phillies at Braves, which is your Sunday night baseball game. Then in the NBA, we've got the Heat at the Celtics. We got the Knicks at the Clippers, and we got the Suns at the Lakers. So having said that, that's what we have on the board this weekend. Let's just jump right into the Friday parlay, right? What we want to do is Brian and I are each going to give our parlays that we have of games going just today, just tonight, just on Friday. And it could be any legs, no matter what. You want to play a 12-leg, you want to play a 2-leg, and anything in between. So, Brian, I'm going to kick it over to you first. What is your Friday parlay? And let me say this. You've hit 2 Friday parlays in a row, buddy.
Three, buddy. Three.
Yeah, 3. Now, let me tell you short here. You've hit 3 in a row. You're crushing it. No matter what you say, I'm playing it. Not to put any pressure on you, but what you got going tonight, my man?
All right. Let's do Dallas at home against Cleveland. Dallas is anywhere from like minus 480 to minus 550 on the money line. This is a chalky money line with not much value, but it's a little bit of a plus, and I think it's going to win, so winner's a winner. So we go Dallas at home to Cleveland, again, minus 480 to minus 550. Then let's go Phoenix, minus 260 at home to the Knicks. They return home after getting smashed by my Hawks the other night. The Knicks, who are on that incredible 15-2 against the spread run, Emmanuel Quickly is listed as doubtful tonight. As is Alec Burks. Both of those guys are double-figure scorers for the Knicks. So I'm going to go Phoenix money line, Dallas money line, and then Portland money line minus 350. And those 3 games, Portland at home, Dallas at home, and Phoenix at home, that should get us about a plus 115 return. And just real quick, Portland has won 5 of its last 6, both straight up and against the spread. And they've won all those games by double digits. In fact, they've won by margins of 21, 21, 19, 10, and 36. And the Lakers are mired in a 4-9 slump, both straight up and against the spread. LeBron remains out. Dennis Schroeder remains out. And that's a real overlooked thing. I mean, Schroeder I mean, not only are they missing LeBron, but Schroeder averages 15.5 points and 5.8 assists per game. The Lakers got killed by the Clippers last night. Anthony Davis left the game in the first half with an injury. He says he's playing tonight. We shall see. But regardless, Anthony Davis is playing like garbage. He shot 41% from the field in April, and he's 16 of 44 from the field in May. That's 36.3%. Anthony Davis is not playing like an all-star, much less like one of the top 10 players in the game to carry his team while they're trying to avoid this play-in tournament and LeBron's out. He's not getting the job done. So I think Portland, Dallas, and Phoenix in the parlay tonight.
Nice. All right. So I'm going with a 2-leg parlay. It'll pay out right at about plus 280. So first game, I'm going what we talked about, the 76ers versus Pelicans. I'm going to ride Philly minus 7.5. You look what the 76ers have done. They're 59% against the spread at home this season. The Pelicans, again, they're 44% against the spread after a day off. Now, here's where, like what you were talking about, right? So you got to pay attention to, who's in, who's out. But again, I feel comfortable with this, whether Embiid is playing or not. I think Philly is just a better team overall. So I'm going to ride that one minus 7.5. I'm also going to ride the Rockies and Cardinals over 7. Now, if you're looking to get in on this, do it quickly because this total is rising. I've seen some books already jump to 7.5, and some might even get to 8. Now, here's the thing. Everybody's going to say, well, yeah, Jack Flaherty's starting for the Cardinals. He's obviously, one of the best pitchers of the game. Well, guess what? St. Louis is 100% to the over when he starts. All right, 4-0-1. All right, so I'm going to ride that. Also, you look what the Rockies have done. The over's cashed in 6 straight for them as well. So, again, a simple 2-leg parlay, nothing big, pays out plus 280, but that's who I'm riding with tonight. And let me make sure again, let everyone know, if you haven't downloaded the BetMGM app, make sure to do that now. Use promo code A to Z100. And if you place a $1 money line wager on either the Phillies or the Braves, doesn't matter. If either of those teams hit a home run tonight, you win $100. It's that simple. It's that easy. BetMGM, download the app, get your account going. No better time to do it than right now. So, Brian, after that, now we want to take a look back to the NFL, our bread and butter. I love it. I am so excited for football season. I feel like it's right around the corner, even though we've got about 100 or so days. But what we want to do now, we're past the draft. We've got the schedule coming out next Wednesday, but we already know who the teams are playing against. We just don't know, week to week of where they're doing it or when they're doing it. Sorry. So what we want to do is give a quick walkthrough of all 8 divisions in the NFL and who we think are going to be the division winners. Who is taking control of that division this year? Take a look at the betting odds with that, and where can we find our value in that? So we're going to go, each conference, and each one of us, me and Brian, will give who we like in those. So, Brian, I'll go ahead and start first in the AFC, and then I'll get your picks. The AFC East, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. Here's the thing. The price is going to be expensive. You're looking at around minus 150, minus 160 in there. Again, I think that this division will be better than people think. I think the Patriots are going to be a better team. I think the Dolphins are going to be a better team. And you might find value in those teams. But again, I don't see the Bills taking a massive step back at all from who they were last year. I think they've got better defenses. I think they've got the best quarterback. I think they've got the best team overall. I'm going to ride with them. The AFC North, here's the thing. I've looked at this Baltimore Ravens team ever since Lamar Jackson became their starting quarterback. And here's the deal with them. They're the best team in the NFL in the regular season. It's almost every single year. They are going to win more games than you think, and they're going to be better than you think. In the playoffs, goodbye. They haven't won anything. They haven't proved anything. I'm not betting on them to do anything in said playoffs until I see it. But in the regular season, the Baltimore Ravens are just on fire. Here's where your sleeper is. The Cleveland Browns are pretty good too, but I don't know if they're going to overtake that division. I think that they had a massive step last year in terms of wins, but I wasn't too thrilled about their point differential, so to say. It was negative, right? So again, I think the Browns honestly could go further than the Ravens. I think both of these teams are playoff teams. But if I have to pick a team to win the division in the regular season, I'm going to go with the Ravens at plus 115. But if you want to go Browns on a sleeper, plus 145, nice price for them. AFC South, again, we talked about this on Tuesday. I'm going with the Titans, plus 110. You've got a pretty much a 2-team race here. You got the Colts or the Titans. Colts are the favorite, about What? Plus 100, I mean, or, right at even money. I'm going to go with the Titans, but it's going to be a tight race there. And then in the AFC West, the Chiefs minus 290. I'm not going to bet this. I took a bet on the Chiefs win total at over 12, and I still feel great about that. But at minus 290 in that division, I just don't see the value in it. So I'm going to stay away. I'm not going to bet it, but if I'm going to pick it, it's going to be the Chiefs to win. So, Brian, break down the 4 teams, AFC, who wins those divisions.
All right, let's start with the AFC East. I'll have to agree with you. I just I do think all those teams are going to be improved, but I think Buffalo is a step ahead of all of them. Now, for betting purposes, though, the minus 150 price would make it a very small amount, or just a little sprinkle, nibble, what have you. The AFC South, you can go ahead and eliminate the Texans and the Jaguars. It's a 2-team race between the Colts and the Titans, which I think are 2 really evenly matched teams. But I'll take Tannehill over Carson Wentz, and the plus 130 looks better than the even money from the odds I'm looking at. So I'll go Titans there. NFC South, are we going to get Taysom Hill, or are we going to get Jameis Winston? We're not going to get Ian Book, but that is who the Saints drafted. The Bucs are the best team, but I would never take minus 200. If you want to take a shot with my Falcons at 8-1, we are going to have a nasty offense. Our defense has issues, though, for sure. Bucs probably win that division, but I would never lay minus 200 on a season-long bet. Ditto for the Chiefs, minus 305. If, and I don't ever wish an injury upon anybody, but, if Mahomes were to get hurt and, miss a 4 to 6 week stretch, the Chargers maybe could slip in there. I love Herbert, their QB. So if anybody wins it outside of Kansas City, it would be the Chargers. But if Mahomes is healthy, the Chiefs win it, and minus 305, way too expensive. I think the NFC West is going to be the most competitive division. I mean, I would give all 6 of these teams a decent shot at it. I'll say, the Niners had so many injuries last year, and I think they are going to roll with Jimmy G still while Lance learns the offense and develops. I'll go Niners with a bit of caution. I'm sure you can hear my voice. That's not a strong opinion, but plus 180 to the Niners. AFC North. I don't know why the Steelers are getting so overlooked. I know that they lost Pouncey, and their O-line is not going to be as good, but I love Najee, the pickup of Najee Harris. Their defense is still going to be one of the best in the league, and I'm not as down on Big Ben as most people are. He had a lot of drops late in this. Remember, they were undefeated into November, and then those guys, Deontay Johnson dropped so many balls. I'll go Pittsburgh at 4-1. NFC East, another one. I think all these teams are pretty much garbage unless Dak is back to 100%, which is a question mark in my mind until we see it. I'll go Washington because I just love their defense. They got the best front 4 in the NFL and one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL. And I think Fitzpatrick has still got a little bit of Fitz magic left in him, and he should be an upgraded quarterback because they got terrible quarterback play last year. So I'll go Washington plus 260. And then the NFC North's a pass because we don't know about Aaron Rodgers. I personally think he's going to hold out and force them to trade him. And so that throws that division up in the air. And I could never lay a chalk price, minus 125 on Green Bay, when I think it's 50-50, if that Aaron Rodgers will be taking the snaps on week 1. So there we go. That's what I got.
I like it. Now, yeah, and in the NFC, I think I pretty much agree with what you laid out. The NFC East, I'm going Washington as well. Now, another sleeper-ish, type. Look at the New York Giants. I think that they're going to be better, right? Like, I think the Giants are going to be better than people think this year as well. But I'm going to roll with Washington plus 260. I think that's a solid number. I think that they're going to be the most talented overall team in that division. I think they're the best coached team in that division. I feel comfortable riding with them. I'm with you in the NFC North. Here's how to break it down, right? So is Aaron Rodgers going to be there or not? If he is going to be there, the Packers at minus 125 is a steal of a price. I mean, they were minus 250, just a couple weeks ago. So if you've got an insight that Aaron Rodgers is going to play and even look somewhat to what he looked like last year, then that's a really nice steal of a price. But if he's not, then you're looking at, a Vikings plus 270, which again, if you could get him plus 270 and Aaron Rodgers doesn't play, that's a heck of a price because that number is going to drop down quickly. The NFC South, I'm with you. The Bucs are the best team. They were last year. They essentially brought every single person back. Although I do think that the division is going to be competitive like it was last year. I think the Saints aren't going to go anywhere. They'll look different, but they're still going to be a good team. I'm with you. I think the Falcons are going to be a much better team this year, and I think the Panthers are going to be a much better team as well. So I'm going to take the Bucs, but that division is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then in the NFC West, so here's the interesting part. You've got all four teams that are at a plus number. So that goes to show you how difficult that this division is. I'll roll with the 49ers at plus 185 because I do think that they're going to overall be the best team. We saw what happened to them last year. I mean, they legitimately had 20 plus starters that were injured, on IR injured, and not just, week to week. I mean, they were just decimated. So I'm going to roll with the 49ers, but I think seemingly if you went San Francisco or Seattle or Los Angeles, I really wouldn't hate the pick. I would even hate Arizona. I don't know if Arizona can do it for a full season. I have questions about, Cliff Kingsbury in terms of his teams. I've seen him at Texas Tech. They've started hot and they kind of fizzle out towards the end. And we're seeing a little bit of that with Arizona. But again, I'm not down on them whatsoever. I like Kyler Murray. I think that he brings an element to the game to where he is so fast and so mobile that it's legitimately difficult, very difficult, to deal with. And if they can get their wide receiver game going, they're even that much better. But yeah, I'm going to roll with the 49ers. But it's, again, that division is going to be pretty tough. It's going to be hard. So I kick it back to you, Brian. Break down what's your Friday parlay for us. Who do you got? Give it to me in 10 seconds or less.
All right, let's go. Dallas at home money line against Cleveland. Let's go Phoenix money line against the Knicks, and Portland money line at home against the Lakers. That's 3 home favorites just to win outright for plus 115 return.
Nice. I'm going plus 281 on mine. It's a 2-leg parlay. I'm going with the 76ers minus 7.5 against the Pelicans, and I'm going with the Rockies and Cardinals over 7. Again, just a simple, nice little 2-leg NBA MLB parlay. So that's all that we have for you today. Everybody, make sure download that BetMGM app and have just a great weekend. We got a nice sports weekend. It should be a nice weekend, whether you're getting outside. It seems like things are opening up a little bit more. So that's always exciting. So let us know who you're betting on. Tell us your parlays, your picks. We'd love to hear them. But again, thank you to A to Z Sports. Thank you to BetMGM. For Brian Edwards, I'm Alan Bell. Let's cash some tickets.